Hi there, my name is Carol Stirrup. I'm one of the mentors for the Wealth Intelligence Academy. I have started off actually as a student a number of years ago, and the way that I've come about becoming a mentor was actually buying property below market value. I started off with about £30,000 to £40,000 worth of debt, and I also still do have a husband, but had a husband who wasn't really supportive of me. I remember going home from the very first course that I attended, and I was so excited. I said to him, honey, we can buy property without having any money, it doesn't matter. And he said, Carol, you know, you've been sold down the river. I was absolutely passionate about the way property can work, so while he had his own opinions about what was happening, I kept taking action and moving forward. I started investing in the north of England while I was living in London, and I used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes and drive or actually catch a train, I do apologise, all the way up to you know, Grimsby, Scunthorpe, my areas now, and I'd spend 3 days intensively looking for property. It's been successful, but it has been a long path, sometimes with challenges that you've just got to overcome. And I would say that the key to my success has been actually being persistent and taking masses and masses of action. One of the properties that I actually remember buying, and I'm quite proud of because it puts in place the Wealth Intelligence Academy education, is I was walking the streets one day and looking at property in between my appointments that I'd set up. I remember seeing someone painting a flat, and it said for sale outside, so I went in. I was actually not going to go in, but I decided to go in, and the chap turned around to me when I asked him, is he selling? He said, well, not now, but I will be. And I said, well, I'm interested. And then I asked actually if he does cashbacks or any creative methods of finance, and he said, yeah, okay, I know about cashbacks, maybe we can do that deal. And effectively I bought a flat without using any of my own money. So I adopt that approach all the time, and that's one of the things I teach as a mentor. I've got a range of portfolios. I have properties that have a single family in it, and I've got properties where I rent the rooms out, so that gives a lot more income. I also do lease options, and I've got a number of properties where I don't even own, but the person, the vendor, is actually willing to sell me the property in a number of years' time, and I've got someone in there who's potentially going to be buying it. In summary, I think I would say that property is a wonderful way of, you know, creating your own lifestyle and creating time in the long term. So I am able to do a lot more of the things that I wanted to do when beforehand I was feeling the pressure of you know, job circumstances and bosses saying you've got to do it this way and blah blah blah. I think I wish you all the best, and I hope that you're enjoying the courses that you're attending, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Hi there, I'm James Hurley. I'm one of the mentors, and I've been training and investing in property for some time now. In fact, I invested my early days in 1998 in property and in businesses. I've got several business interests that I'm involved in. I'm one of the four original mentors, and in the last 7 years, in fact, I've trained over 200 people now to date. In the last 3 years, I've also been responsible for training others to become mentors as well for the company. And what we do typically on the mentorships is to take people right through the whole process of training somebody from identifying how to assess the marketplace right through to negotiations and making offers by day 3 of the mentorship. Also on my mentorships, what people typically learn from mine are at least 15 other ways to source properties without having to use an estate agent ever again. And I also train those that have been on the lease options course how they can apply the lease option strategy on a business to business level in the marketplace. So you'll learn practical hands-on experience on how to roll that out over the 3 days with myself, and that will be in the location of your choice. So I look forward to seeing you in the future, and hope you enjoy these videos. Thank you.
I'm David Harwood, and I'm one of the property mentors, but also a business mentor for the organisation. I'd like to just talk to you a little bit about what a mentorship is. A mentorship is a one-on-one programme where I will go out with you as our client to look specifically at how you actually carry out the business of purchasing a property. We will look at property if that's what you want to do, but we'll also examine strategy. The aims and the goals of mentorship are really down to you yourself. But what we do is we go through those aims and goals in a couple of ways. First of all, you will produce for me a strategic definition of where you want to be, and you'll actually fill in a form that is given to you as part of the pack for mentorship. We will establish what your aims and your goals are. For some, that might be to establish a strategy and then to start to carry it out. For others, it might be building a power team. Those are the people that are going to help you build your property. They could be plumbers, they could be solicitors, they could be brokers, any number of people in order to help you move your property portfolio forward. And that brings me on to another thing. If you're just starting out, it might be your first property. But if you are looking to expand your property portfolio, we as mentors will take you from where you are to where you want to go. So strategy forms a very, very integral and important part of the mentorship. You may wish to change your strategy. You may have bought some small buy-to-let properties and are making 50, 60, 70, 100, 110 pounds per month as a profit on them. And you may wish to look at, say, houses in multiple occupancy, where you can quite easily go to 400, 500, 600 pounds per month as an income from your property. It may be that you want to generate a capital growth portfolio for later. It may be that perhaps you think your pension portfolio is not performing as well as it might, and you might want to buy properties which will have capital growth for the future, as well as producing a little bit of income now. So strategy, again, forming a central and integral part of the mentorship. Ultimately, however, your mentorship is yours. It's something that you own, and we as mentors have got the experience to take you from where you are to where you want to go. The scope of the mentorship can be almost across the whole range of the programs that you're undertaking or wish to undertake in the future. So we might be looking at buy-to-let, we could be looking at multiple occupancy, we could be looking at lease options, or we could even be looking at self-build or even commercial. All of those strategies are within the scope of what every single mentor should be able to do for you and to assist you with in your future development. So, for instance, I'm a specialist in houses in multiple occupancy, but I have experience across the board in buy-to-let. I have a buy-to-let pension portfolio, for instance. We have, because my wife is also a mentor, that's why I say we would also be looking at self-build. In fact, we're just building a property in the garden of one of our other properties on the south coast as part of our holiday let development. So, which brings us into a semi-commercial perspective, because we run those properties in a slightly different way that we run our buy-to-lets and our multiple occupancies. So all of the mentors, not just including myself, have all got strengths across several of the different strategic areas of developing a property portfolio. As I've already indicated, one of my strengths is houses in multiple occupancy, which is a cash flow generating or income generating strategy. Where do we go on mentorship? Well, actually, that's up to you. We would expect in mentorship that you would identify an area where you would like to go. You might want to go to the lower cost properties up in the north east and the northwest of the country. You might want to generate a London style property. portfolio where they would obviously be much more expensive, or you might want to generate something on the south coast which may lead to a holiday generation or a holiday letting organisation, or it may wish to identify with perhaps the slightly higher earners who tend to congregate in the southeast and on the south coast. Where you want to go is entirely up to you, and you must, as part of your mentorship, carry out basic research which you'll have learnt on things like the Advanced University course or the Basic Buy-to-Let course or the other courses that you've done, help and guide you in identifying where you would want to go and look for property. I would have to say that in mentorship, actually where you go is immaterial, because you can apply the principles wherever you go to anywhere in the UK. However, if you want us to go to Cyprus or across to Bulgaria, you'll have to pay our trip fare out there. But of course, we stick to the United Kingdom, so Scotland, Wales, and England in general. We expect you to carry out a number of different things. First of all, as I've already mentioned, you have to fill in a strategic questionnaire which has been sent to you with your pack, and that gives us, the mentor, a clue as to the types of strategy that you're looking to and what are your basic aims and goals, and we will strengthen those on the first morning of the mentorship. What we also expect you to do is to research an area. If you want to, you can pre-book viewings of property, usually from the first afternoon onwards. At the end of that, we will analyse the properties that you've looked at, dependent upon the strategies that we've discussed on the Monday morning, and then we may be in a position through the mentorship to actually place offers on the property. Ultimately, our goal as mentors is to help you move your property portfolio forward. It's also to help you generate an income, whether it be through capital or whether it be through rental income. The focus is for 3 days on you alone. And there is the possibility of actually buying a 4th day to go out with either the same mentor or possibly a different mentor to find out a little bit about the way that they can help move your property portfolio forward as well. So there are opportunities on the mentorship to further that mentorship, further that strength with the backing of specialists in the field. A couple of other things I suppose that we should mention is that on the mentorship, we would look to always give you work to do in the evenings, especially, so bring your computer with you, especially if you have an internet connection, because ongoing research is always important. If you struggle with any specific element of finding a power team, talking to estate agents, if we can find a sourcing agent, then we would find a sourcing agent with you, or talking with builders, then all of the mentors have those experiences up their sleeve to help you. An anecdotal story is that one day we were driving along and we saw somebody actually building a property. We stopped the car, we got out and we said to the builder, do you know a good builder? And he said no, so we got back in the car and drove on. But that way we can pick up power teams as we're going around, because at the end of the day, wherever you build your property portfolio or portfolios, you will need a group of people to help you do that. Our strength is in the way that you prepare as well as the way that we prepare for your mentorship. We will contact you. I personally will contact you immediately. I get the go-ahead from the help desk whom you book your mentorship through to say that, happy to be your mentor. Let's see how we can work together, and wait for your strategic questionnaire. And on receipt of the strategic questionnaire, we will have a series of phone calls and or emails which will help us to start to prepare much more actively for the mentorship. But our goal for you on the mentorship is to move your property career forwards, to help you generate what it is that you want from the property, whether that income or capital. And it is focused entirely on what you require and what you want and how you want to move forward. And that's what we're here for as mentors.
My name is Matthew Snedden. I've been working with the organisation now as a property mentor for the last 7 years. I'll tell you a bit about myself first of all. I came from Australia and I used to do a lot of, well, my job was for portfolio management. That was causing me a lot of problems because I was never happy in that role. I went to this organisation and I went through all the courses that they provided for me, and I also had a personal mentor who took me over and through deals that's enabled me to start building a portfolio, and a portfolio that is far greater than I ever expected on having. In the last 6-7 years, or 7 or 8 years, I've helped or mentored over, let's say, over about 70 or 80 people, and helped them build a portfolio which has enabled them to potentially leave their jobs if they want to do that, or just live a better lifestyle. I think that's what it's all about. The idea that with the mentorship is that I take you on a 3-day, I guess it's a common word we use, but it's a bit of a journey, whereas we take you out on the field. Where I will take you out in the field and I will show you how I can personally show you how to buy properties that fit your strategy. My strength, I guess, because my main strategy is to buy properties and to do them up and do them up to a very high standard, and either to rent them out as multi-let properties, as HMOs, or as buy-to-lets, mainly in the northeast, also in London itself. So I guess that's what my main focus is always cash flow, or selling the properties or refinancing the properties enables you to pull your money out, but also to have a chunk of money left in your bank account, which enables you to keep moving on. So I guess a lot of people go with myself purely to get that strategy ironed out nicely for them. During the 3 days, what I tend to do is I work on you for the first half a day, just making sure that we're on the right track. We take you from what you want. What is it that you want to achieve? And I sit you down and we work that out, and we can then fundamentally put that into a strategy, or a structure, if you may. From there, we go out in the field. We view properties that can fit your strategy. The strategy, we also want to see properties that don't fit your strategy, so you can identify what's right, what's wrong, that suits you. We then get the funding in place, we put the offers in, we make sure all these things go into place. So therefore, you can feel I can feel as well, after the 3 days, that you have a firm strategy, and you can just follow the footsteps of what we've done over those 3 days, which enables you to start building your portfolio. Whether you want to buy 1 or 2 houses, or in some cases, in a lot of cases, people want to buy 20 or 30 properties. And that may be a situation where you want to do that in 2-3 years, or whatever the time period is, and whatever you want to try and achieve quickly or slowly, whatever it is. I'm here to help you do that, and I guess I've helped over 70, maybe even 80 people over the last 7 years, and to do that. So I hope to see you again on the mentoring program. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Sean Thompson, and I'm here to speak to you guys here about mentorship and a little bit more about what it entails. My personal investing journey began 4.5 to 5 years ago when I read a fantastic book by a guy called Robert Kiyosaki, which really lit my financial literacy bulb, if you like it. I then started attending trainings by this organisation and started investing up north in a wonderful little place called Burnley, where I was able to buy properties on credit cards for between £25,000 to £30,000. And that's really how the whole thing started for me. We were buying very low-cost houses there and renting them out to tenants and getting a positive cash flow. All the money that went into the deals had to come out again. And we were able to build up a slush fund then. Over the last 18 months, I've been focusing more exclusively on a fantastic strategy called lease options, which I've been very, very fortunate to be offered the position of co-presenting the lease options course for this organisation. A little bit more about mentorship, because obviously you guys sort of got a better idea of who I am, but mentorship really is all about what you need out of your property strategy. I would say there are 4 main things that I'd like to cover and that I'll go through. That we're going to have fun over the 3 days. That's what it's all about. If you're not going to have fun while you're investing, there's probably a good reason not to be doing it. We're going to get out there, we're going to put offers out, we're going to get you guys to start taking action, because this is your business, and you need to understand that in order to make this work, you need to work as well. So we're going to look at what strategies work in those areas, and that you're putting the offers out in the right types of properties. We're going to look at the deal analysis side as well, so that you've got a very good idea of how to analyze a property deal. Not a very good idea that you know it like you're doing a normal little math sum at the end of the day. And we're going to hold your hand through those first steps, because very often it's the first step that's the hardest. So if we can get you, we can hold your hand through that first step, the rest is going to be a lot easier. Personally, on a personal note, my mentorships, day one, we really sort of focus on business planning and make sure that you've got a business plan in place. We look at your marketing strategy, and typically I focus my marketing strategy on a 5 or 6 prong approach, where I look at 5 or 6 different strategies out there at any one time to bring the deals and make the deals come to me at 30 to 40% below market value. We're going to make sure that you've got the right power teams in place, you've got the right people around you, so that when a deal does come in, that you're able to call on the right people to help you out. And that does really look and delve into the whole support that this organisation does offer you. We're going to teach you how to research, what types of websites are you currently using, what type of methods are you currently using to be able to go and value a property properly, because that is one of the most important parts of this business, and that makes it a lot safer at the end of the day. And we're going to look at your goals. You know, there are 2 things, is that having a goal is very important, but also understanding why you're doing this business in the first place is probably more important. And I see consistently the people that achieve the most have got the biggest whys. So we really look at why you're doing this. There's one mentee in particular that I can think of who I mentored about 12 months ago, who had a massive why. He was working up in a factory and doing a lot of night shifts. So we focused really on that as his pain, and that's what he wanted to get out of. And 12 months later, he's now reached a point where he's financially independent, and he's given his job up and he's doing property full-time. So it's looking and focusing at that as well. Day 2, we're really getting out there. We're looking for deals. We're speaking to estate agents. We're speaking to letting agents. We're phoning up private seller adverts in the newspaper, and generally looking where other people aren't looking, because it's very easy to go into an estate agent and try and find deals. But remember, estate agents sell property at retail, and we're looking to buy at wholesale. So we're looking at where we can get in touch with people who'd be willing to speak to us and create those win-win situations. I'll give you another example. On a recent mentorship, we sourced over 600 properties over a 3-day period. And we spent all of 45 minutes in an estate agent's office. So it really is turning under those stones and looking under those tables where other people won't be looking generally. Day 3, we're really reviewing the properties that we've seen. We're having meetings with potential vendors, landlords that we might have hooked up with over the first and second day. We're analysing the properties, and we're putting offers out. And when I say analysing, we're looking at particular ways that we can structure our deals differently to the way other people are structuring them. Another example comes to mind straight away. Another recent mentorship where we sat down with a lady who was selling 3 tenanted properties, and she'd already had a cash offer on the table from another investor, and we managed to put a deal through with her whereby we reduced her capital gains tax liability to 0 by putting terms on the property. And she actually did the deal with us, but we paid her a lot less than the other investor did, just because we showed her a way that she could negate a lot of capital gains. So we really look at different ways to do it. We get out there, we have fun, we put offers out, we make sure that you are in a position to be able to analyse the properties properly, and most of all, we leave you after those 3 days with a